Right, so our next speaker is from Poland, and the project is called Deligic. The only thing I will tell you is that it is also connected with interactivity. Let's give them a few minutes to set up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It works. Okay. So, can I start? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Walkowski. I am from InventCore company. We develop software solutions and technologies across media and perception extending. And I will present you Deligic is our interactive video technology. And first obvious thing, interactive video is something probably more interesting than classical video because we can influence on the content. And we are programmers. We were growing up with computer games, and in computer games, what is fascinating for us is that we can act as the main character. We can do some decisions, choices. We can change the story, and we can influence the ending. So we can consider it is possible in such interactivity, high interactivity in computer games, to get it and use, for example, in films, movies, because in computer games there are a lot of interactions. For example, arcade interactions, dialogues, some moral problems. So we consider about use or this stuff or these tools, narrative tools in the movies, and we consider about it is possible to use it in whole video production system as a unified technology. And going deeply into this subject, we consider there is not only for feature forms, but also e-learning, product presentations, and of course video guides for some places. The possibilities of interactive video are of course wider if we consider, if we are aware that we can control video by many ways, by touch devices, by touch screens, by mobile devices, of course by voice recognition, gestures recognition, and for example eye tracking. It is, I think, popular in web marketing, analytics. So this is a bunch of examples of applications of what we are doing currently. We can control video by voice, by game controllers. So what is interactive video technology? It's implementation of that concept that of all that concept that we can create such videos, interactive content, non-linear content, and of course we can publish them, distribute over internet, and edit them by users, authors. So Deligic is implementation of that concept. First of all, is we created interactive player. It works in web browsers, so you can use all interactions in the video. Of course it's very nice with touch screens. It's integrated with our voting system, so you can watch videos in a group and vote in a group for decisions in the movie. It's also embedded. It can be embedded on any website. And of course, the player tracks users' behaviors, users' decisions during watching, for example, such video quiz. Another thing, in my opinion, the key element, the most important element in the whole system is interactive video editor. And this is a tool, also web-based tool, so you can use it in a web browser. your favorite web browser. It's integrated with YouTube, so you can search clips there and use these clips in your projects. For example, from Filmteractive, but the resolution is low. And the main feature of the editor is enable to build interactive movies, so some network of clips, some navigation between the clips. There is also editor of graphical interactions over the video, and it is very useful tool, for example, for prototyping stories. It's not my opinion, but filmmaker's opinion. And third thing of the system is interactive video gallery, where users, authors can publish their works, in the future sell them. And this gallery is also on the web, and it is a version from Windows Store, Windows 8 Store, and we are working around the community for authors. We are organize some meetings, some workshops for users, for authors, and I want to tell you about our current projects. We are working on video surveys or video quizzes. Some dialogues, for example, it's video quiz from Bitspiration conference in Krakow, and the concept is you may talk with the speaker about his presentation, and he asks your question and you can answer. Another thing we are working on is our interactive guides, virtual guides with spherical panoramas. Currently we are working on project in one of the areas of Euro 2012, and the concept is you can look around the whole object and go choose where you go, and of course look around. Third thing, third project, very big project, Sławomir Idziak invited us to his workshops in Krakow to organize them, then interactive group, about 50 people. And then we created 4 projects for interactive feature films. Of course, all that movies are available, and you can watch it in our gallery. And then, at last day, we created interactive cinema, so we can the participants of the Film Spring Open can vote in the premiere of that videos. I consider there is no sound. Maybe a little. Okay, and the third project. Currently you are working on the full-length feature film. Why it's interesting? Because we want to use interactions in the video not only for such go right or go left. The interactivity in this project is the part of the story. The story is about man who trains lucid dreaming, and the whole universe is divided into reality and the dreaming. And in dreaming parts we make decisions, and in real part above dreaming we can see consequences of our decisions. It's very important in aspect of I am an interactive creator, and I know there is very hard in feature film to show the user this is the moment you should be active. Because if we have no idea how to slightly do it, oh, thank you. To do it, it's very hard to do not break the immersion in the feature film, of course. So it's all from me, and of course I can answer any questions.
Right, so let's start from the commissioners.
Actually, one of the biggest, I think, disadvantages of such an interactive motion picture productions is the multiplicity of shots that you need to create in order to make the story flow. And do you think it would be appropriate if you could include some budgeting features for the people who actually create such videos to help the process of just developing the whole story, like prototyping first, then actually trying to understand whether this project is possible to do. Because as a general idea, of course, it works perfectly, but when you start to develop the story and the number of possibilities become endless, actually, how to make a selection when you actually should stop number of shots.
So the question is how to do it properly.
Yes, exactly. Do you think it's possible at all?
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's a problem. I try to count it, and the number is 4.5 times more to record in interactive video. Many parts of interactive video we can reuse it in the whole story. I agree. The key point is a good design. So first, plan whole story, prototype it. On the Filmspring Open, it's a subject not for me, but for Sławomir Idziak. There is a lot of subjects about prototyping story, and our tool is also tool for prototyping. So you can use images, some clips from YouTube, some text to describe whole story, to see all paths. And probably you can see there is a wrong path or maybe some irrational path. And then you can, of course, realize the whole project. In my opinion, interactive feature film, full-length interactive feature film could be, for example, 30 minutes, not 90 minutes. Why? Because there is much more, of course, if there is 3 or 4 endings, for example, there is much more content to explore. So the case how long the video is in the interactive video, interactive feature film is hard to describe. In my opinion, it could be it mustn't be so long as classic feature film. But of course, if you want achieve 90 minutes interactive feature film, you need to record, for example, 4.5 hour public material. So my answer is it's possible, but you need to be aware that there is that interactive video could be shorter than classic film, and in my opinion, it's equal or more immersive, even if it's shorter.
I have a question. Thank you very much for your interesting presentation. Actually, I have 2 questions. Mm-hmm. The first, did I understand you right that you base everything you do on that tool you have created?
Yes.
So it's all designed around that player?
Yes.
And then on top of that, you also deliver content, or you...
Yes, we are creating content, mm-hmm. but we are not professional filmmakers. So currently it's rather a demos. I think. Maybe amateur films, interactive films. Maybe something like that.
So I would be interested in your opinion. What's a story that's sort of good for an interactive movie? Because, you know, a story sometimes needs to be told in a linear way. So a story that you then tell in an interactive way has to have some other aspect to it. So it's interesting to tell it interactive. What do you think that that kind of aspect would be?
I think it's aspect for storytellers and screenwriters. First of all, not for technicians. I try to create scripts, screenwrites. In my opinion, of course, there should be some. It's not only my opinion, because I work with a lot of filmmakers, and our opinion is that the first act of the story very often should be linear, to introduce the viewer to the context, whole concept of the story. There is the second act, the main act, and then there is a place for interactions. We try to define on the start of the project all endings, all possible endings, and then from that linear first act we want to consider how viewer or how the story can go to each of the endings. It's the way we are thinking about it. And about the story, I think it's not like that every story is better in interactive form, in non-linear form, than in the linear form. And in opposite, there are many stories in linear form that could be, in my opinion, more interesting in non-linear form, when user or viewer can change this story or to act as the main character. So I think it's something like that. This is a linear world, and this is non-linear world, and there is some common part of that words. But it's not like that. We should all linear concepts or all linear stories try to translate the non-linear language. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for this nevertheless profound explanation of storytelling. I would go back to the technological part of it, which I'm interested in. On the first hand, I really find it intriguing the way you bring it together, and I agree on the discussion about it becoming really difficult to actually do filming and expensive to do filming. Talking about drama, I've got a few questions to the possibilities. The first question would be, maybe could you translate it into live television? As in, if we think about football games, you know, there are different cameras running anyway, and so you're not going to make it difficult for filming. That would be one question, whether you could go into that. And the other one would be how, as a broadcaster, we've got very complicated system anyway, content management systems, diverse, and they're very complicated in working together technologically wise. How would your piece of technology fit into it? Is it does it stand alone, or is there possibilities, if you thought about it, how it integrates with other content management systems, as in video on demand platforms?
So the first, okay, I think I understand the second question, but the first was how it's difficult to.
No, maybe. In situations like drama, I agree it's quite complicated and difficult and expensive to produce. My question was concrete, like if you have a football game and you have 10 cameras running at the same time anyway, because you switch between the cameras, would that help? Could you use your piece of technology to get
something like that?
Yeah, have you gone into that?
I think it's the first question. It's some kind of narrative form, in my opinion. So you can create the story in the one point of view, or for several points of view. For example, several characters. If it one thing it's if you have one place and many cameras, you can of course switch to the other cameras, and these streams of each camera, of course, can be synchronized, and you can switch in the real time. Yes, so you can switch to the next camera, and it starts not from the beginning, but from the time you are in this. Your watching started. Yes, so in our player is something like a watching session for the movie. So it's possible. It is this technology, but it's another kind of narrative form. And second question: how about integration? First of all, it's web-based solution. So only thing you need is to go to the website and use the editor or the player or the gallery. In my opinion, what we are doing currently, it's not a video editing tool. It's interactive. It's interactions editor of interactions between videos. So another tool, for example, Premiere, Sony Vegas, Final Cut, these tools are dedicated to edit video. And what we are doing is the tool to match them match these videos in some structure, to match them by some navigation. First integration is to integrate, for example, plugin for such that tools for editing video are very large. So probably we need to create some plugin, for example, to upload videos to our server, and then you can use it as from Vimeo, from YouTube, from another video hosting servers. So, in my opinion, it's we want to integrate it in a whole video production system, but currently there is a lot of work to do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. I think we will not be able to take questions from the audience at this point. We have to move to another project, but I'm sure you're here for the rest of the day. So if you have any questions and you would like to approach Adam, you can look up for him during the lunchtime or any other breaks that we might have. Before I go on to introduce the next project, I would like to make a very short announcement in Polish. Jeżeli są wśród Państwa przedstawiciele TBWA Tequila, to jesteście Państwo proszeni na warsztaty Hyper Island. A jeżeli nie, to przechodzimy do następnego punktu programu. Right. So the next project is from Denmark, and it's